A whole year. It's been a whole year since I released my book We Met in the Forums, and I wanted to take a chance to go through it, go behind the scenes, and just have a chat about the book. First off, let's talk about where the idea came from. I never intended to write this book. When I released Fleshed Out back in 2022, my first book and a short story collection, I knew I wanted to have a go at something longer form. And that's where my Killer Cow book High Stakes came in, my first novel. And then after that, at that point, I'd done a short story collection, all body horror, and a creature feature. And I was like, what's next? I had intended to start my zombie series, which I'm actually doing right now, but I wanted some more practice at longer form, and I wanted to have a go at bringing found footage into my stories. I've said it on here plenty of times, I'm a big fan of found footage, especially within books where it takes a slightly different twist. It's more through blog posts, text messages, things like that, and it's very immersive and feels more real world. So I was walking around Portsmouth one night, saw some strange things in the sky, and let me tell you, it's not uncommon to see strange things in Portsmouth. But this was different. It wasn't aliens, unfortunately, they hadn't come to rescue me, but it did spark an idea. That idea went through many forms, but when I finally cracked it and got it right, I was really excited. I knew it was going to be a bit of a risk, not only because of the structure and taking a chance on found footage, but also the LGBT plus themes, the central mystery. I wasn't sure how people were going to react. Thankfully, people really seemed to enjoy it and it quickly became my best-selling book. Now let's talk about the cover. This was the first cover I ever made. I have a bit of a background in graphic design just from making things like Instagram posts, social media posts, posters, that kind of thing. I never expected to make one of my covers, not at all. I'd made actually this graphic as a teaser image, just something to throw up on Facebook and Instagram, just to let people know what I was working on. And then one of my good author friends said to me, you should use this as the cover. And I wasn't convinced to start with, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to the story. I really like the kind of cold grey black aesthetic. The titles fuck a few people up. It's a little bit difficult to read, but I kind of like the mystery aspect of that. So using a free image from Unsplash, I put this together relatively quickly. When I had to make the wrap, obviously it's a bit more difficult. Any graphic designer will tell you the back of a book is equally, if not more so, difficult than the front. Cover designers, I'd love your thought on that. But overall, really do enjoy this cover. Not to blow smoke up my own arse, but I think it works nicely. And now I would like to discuss the setting, my hometown of Portsmouth, UK. If you haven't been to Portsmouth, don't come. Just kidding. I really like the opportunity to write something in my hometown, something where people, locals or visitors would know the area, they'd know the geography, and that kind of adds a bit of real world tension to things. Also, the beach was a big part of it and it just made sense to write it for Portsmouth. The other great thing about the location is I could shoot all of my teaser videos and photos locally. I did quite a bit down the beach. You might remember some lo-fi little videos I did. And I think overall it worked really well. And finally, the music. Yes, music. One of my favourite things to do as a creator is to mix formats and platforms, and one thing I chose to do with We Met in the Forums was get a soundtrack made. The lead song was from my friend That Shred Boy, and it really encompasses the beach vibes, the horror vibes, a very liminal, awkward, kind of unusual sound, which I adore. Definitely check out the full version of that. And on my YouTube channel, I actually have a EP, including this track, a couple of ambient tracks that I had commissioned, and even something I made myself. Now, I'm no musician, it was made through kind of loops and experimentation, but again, I'm very proud of that, and I really love extending the concepts of my book, the original idea, and seeing where I can take it. And spoiler alert, my new brand, Hell Fever, launches on May 23rd, and the spirit of that brand is exactly that, taking concepts and seeing where I can go with them. So that is a bit of insight into We Met in the Forums. If you haven't read it yet, it is available on TikTok Shop and robhorrorshop.com. And as a final note, I don't know when yet, I don't know how, but let me tell you, I'm not done with this story.